Hey everyone, and welcome to our network. This is the Magical Miracle Network. My name is Ruth Perkinson, and today, as of today, we have 145 subscribers to this network, and I'm so excited you guys are all here with us today, joining me with one of my favorite people on planet Earth. His name is Nathaniel
Oh,
Mason, and he is here with us today to talk a little bit about A Course in Miracles. And also, we're going to be talking a little bit about a class we're going to be teaching starting next week. So I'm super amped up about that, Nathaniel. So welcome back to the network.
yes. Thank you so much for having me. I feel energized after these. I don't feel depleted. It feels really fun to be able to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, me too. And so, guys, we've been talking a little bit about before we hit the record button about what we're going to be talking about today. And one of the things we decided to talk about is a beautiful section out of A Course in Miracles called The Holy Encounter, which is out of chapter 8. And Nathaniel brought it up, and I thought, wow, what a great place to begin today in this very short video, maybe 15 minutes or so.
Yes. Yeah, I and just like for to be really organic and to tell them kind of our process, we kind of sat and with an intention and a prayer and really wanted to be in joy and with spirit. And the number 142 just popped in my head. So we just went with it. And I'm excited to see what unfolds.
I know. That's a great practical application we can tell people is if you don't know
Yes.
what to do, where you're going, just stop,
Yes.
pause, wait for the inspiration, and that's what we did.
That's exactly what we did. And we had two people joining for a higher purpose. So I'm sure the message came a little quicker than if we did it alone.
Exactly, like when two or more are gathered, right?
Right.
I love it. Well, let's go ahead and kind of go into the holy encounter because we're having
Yeah.
one right now. I mean, really, as you and I are joined together as brother and sister, sister and brother, or
Mhm.
whatever pronoun, right? We are having a holy encounter. And actually, a person watching the video right now is having, whether it's today or in a year from now, is also experiencing a holy encounter. And so maybe we can just sort of unpack that a little bit.
I love that idea. And the idea that holy encounters are never lost in time, that it can be something that someone might be able to enjoy a year, 2 years from now and experience. Like, how powerful is that?
Oh, truly powerful. Yeah. Because what I feel like we're doing is we're doing truly is we're giving and receiving love. We're identifying with the spirit in you, which is identifying in the spirit in me and also with the viewer. So we're really interacting with the viewer and identifying with spirit over identifying with the body, you know. And because the ego
Yes.
really wants us to be involved with the body, but we're really trying to identify with our spirits. So, do you want to take a look at that section and maybe read a little bit? What sounds good to you there?
Yeah, that sounds great. How about I read a little bit? I'll read all of section 4 and a few sentences in section 5, and we'll just let the spirit guide the conversation.
Absolutely, go for it.
When you meet anyone, remember it is a holy encounter. As you see him, you will see yourself. As you treat him, you will treat yourself. As you think of him, you will think of yourself. Never forget this, for in him you will find yourself or lose yourself. Whenever two sons of God meet, they are given another chance at salvation. I love that. I'm going to read that one more time. Whenever two sons of God meet, they are given another chance at salvation.
Hey, can we just stop there for a second? Would it be okay with
I would
you?
love to.
Because,
Yeah, I feel guided to.
yeah, the word salvation has sort of different nuances, but when I see the word salvation, I always see the word salve.
Oh,
And
I love that.
to me, it means healing. And so I feel like what he's saying there, and I'll let you be guided as well, is that we have another chance at healing. And what we're really healing, everybody, is the mind. We're healing our minds and how we perceive each other. Are we perceiving each other with the ego lens or with spirit lens? And when we really see, like I'm really looking at you right now with the Holy Spirit's lens. So right now we're having a healing. And when you look at me with that same lens, then I'm getting the healing. So, and
I
that's the
love that.
salvation. Yeah, that's the reparative nature of salvation. Yeah.
Can I give a practical example of how I've been trying to navigate this with people that sometimes will drive me crazy and trigger something in me?
Yeah.
So I think something I've been trying to do that I really think it relates, right? Because we can have holy encounters even when the physical body of the person is not in front of us. I'm a big believer in that. Well, the course says that. I didn't I didn't just come up with that. But I think that something I've been trying to do is when I have a thought like, oh, I wish someone wasn't so judgmental. I wish someone wasn't so intense. I wish someone would just be able to like sit with whatever it is in the moment. I will try to reframe it to something I really appreciate about them. Right. So I'll immediately go into, you know what? I know this person. I had a thought that they're judgmental, but I also really appreciate that they feel empowered to be able to share how they're feeling. Like, what a gift is that?
Oh, that's so
And
cool. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And, if someone is maybe like says something that, let's say, I don't agree with at all, maybe it's socially or politically, or maybe it's just an opinion that I don't agree with, I can sit there and say, I admire them for being able to speak their truth and not worrying about people pleasing. And that has helped me join and feel closer. And actually, my encounters with people are a little easier after I shift it like that.
Oh, well, maybe I can reflect that a little bit. So basically, if you don't agree or it's something that's sort of not in alignment maybe with your belief system,
Exactly.
basically what you're doing, guys, is we're just going, okay, that's in their belief system. And what you're trying to say is, wow, they're speaking their truth. And so we always like it when people speak their truth without judgment, right? And they're just sort of speaking their truth. And we're thinking our truth at the same time. And that's joining with them in that spiritual place. Oh my gosh, that's really helpful. Yeah, just really seeing, honoring them speaking their truth.
Honoring them speaking their truth and finding a trait that I really admire that feels like it's part of holiness. It's creative, it's loving, it's energetic, it's transformative instead of an ego trait like judgmental or, they're not informed or they're mean or something like that. Like I'll really try to actively like switch how I'm seeing them with a really particular example. That's what really helps me.
Oh, that's so well stated. I love that. So you're really having that shift in perception from seeing them with, like, joining
Mhm.
with them in the ego mind, and the shifting into joining with them spiritually. And that's the healing.
It is the healing. And I think that can be a holy encounter because it might be easy to think of a holy encounter when we really like the person, right? But when we're triggered by something, and I get triggered by stuff all the time, I'm not above it. So, anyone on this call, please feel free to pause the video and reflect. I am triggered all the time. Um, it's okay. And it's a really good, it's a practice. And then even having gratitude, like, thank you for the opportunity, Holy Spirit, to practice this.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for the opportunity to be able to see in my other person in front of me, like you in there, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah. So you've got that gratitude too, in that reflection of, joining with that being, because the gratitude is so important. We often miss that part, just being grateful that we've got an opportunity to heal. That's kind of, I think, bottom line, what's going on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my
Yes, so well
gosh. All
said.
right. Well, keep going with that paragraph or the next paragraph. And
Yeah, let's go for
yeah,
it.
let's go for it. Yeah.
So, do not leave anyone without giving salvation to him and receiving it yourself, for I am always there with you in remembrance of you. And they put the you in italics. It's really important, the message, to pay attention to that, it seems.
Yeah, and
And
he's
then,
talking about
mhm.
this is Jesus, right? He's like, I'm always
Yes.
here. This is. I just want to clarify that. Yes.
And I think you've said this before, so I really want to give this like credit to you. And I've seen some other people do this too. Like I really like tools and something you can do in the moments when you feel overwhelmed. And even when you just don't know what to do and you feel, like you're having a meltdown or something is really overwhelming or scary or like really triggers an old wound, you can always just say the word help. I really like that. Just like say the word, sit with the word help and trust that help is on the way, that it's coming.
Yeah, we'll just pause right here. And that has been a great word for me too,
Yes.
because I'll just be honest, like last night I was having a bad dream.
Mhm.
Just some old stuff was coming up through my dream time. And I think I was just like, help, or, God help me, or I am as God created me, just a line from the course. And then the hard part is honestly is trusting that it's on its way, that it's there.
Yes, it is hard.
And then just for a moment, I think might be also helpful for people watching the video, is that in the manual for teachers, he talks about, and I forget which part it is, there's never a moment where Jesus, Yeshua, the Holy Spirit is unaware of you. There isn't ever,
Mm,
not,
mm.
from the beginning of time to the end of time, all the way through, there isn't 1 second where spirit is unaware of you. So the help is always there.
How refreshing and how healing is it to reflect on that when we think about all the times where we felt alone, or overwhelmed, or like we're just out here by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have many times, sometimes when I experience a loss, whether it be a pet or friend, an animal, parents, feel like they've separated in some way. Yeah, you kind of feel like you're just sort of, I have felt just being sort of disjointed, or just feeling, just this,
Untethered almost.
untethered is a great word. Thank you for helping me there. So there, the spirit works right there, looking for the right word. Yeah, untethered. And when you feel untethered, you can use that word, and they'll be there. Okay, well, let's keep going.
I love it. The goal of the curriculum, so just for those of you who are watching, we're on section 5. Regardless of the teacher you choose, is know thyself. There is nothing else to seek. Ooh, that feels really big too. Know thyself. There is nothing else to seek.
This might be where we really begin to speak our truth about who we
Mhm.
really are. And so this is what he's trying to let us know in A Course in Miracles, is that you are the Son of God. I am the Son of God, the daughter of God. Nathaniel is Son of God. We are all of it. We're not, and Jesus is trying to let us know that he's our elevated brother, and he's giving us this message that we are also, at the end of the day, we are becoming like him. We are the same as he is. I mean, in my own progress, I'm not quite there yet, but
Same.
that's what he's trying to let us know, is that we are the sonship. We are all of it, all of us. And
Mm.
and that's who we are, and that's really a big teaching, not in arrogance, but in grandeur. When I look at you, Nathaniel, if I am reminded that I'm looking at the Son of God, the face of Christ, that's who you are. And that's who I am. And we're trying to, in the Holy Encounter, we're reflecting that. We're reflecting this idea that you are the Christ, and you're innocent, and there's no sin in you, there's no guilt in you, there's no fear in you. And that's what relief that is.
It's funny when you're saying that. I'm really trying to receive it and feel my energy elevating and feel in alignment. And it makes me think of the like disalignment, unalignment, the untethered feeling of efforting so much to try to solve the problem. Because it says in the line right here, there's nothing else to seek. And I don't know about a lot of people who are watching this, or I know Ruth and I have talked about this, but I, I seek information when I'm feeling overwhelmed instead of slowing down and practicing maybe one thing from the course or one thing that I've learned over time. And that could be something as simple as like, I'm remembering who I am, right? I know I'm the Christ. So let me practice trusting that the answer will come to me. The next right thing will come to me to do in any situation, and stop trying to be like Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill only to have it come and fall back.
Oh, wow. That's a great metaphor. I love that. Yeah. The ego really is Sisyphus. Up the hill, back down the
Oh my
hill, up the
gosh.
hill, back down the hill, pushing that rock up, looking for the answers. You keep thinking he's going to get over the hill, but he just keeps coming back. That's the definition of insanity. We keep repeating the same
Yes.
cycle, looking for a different result. with when we're in the ego mind. Wow, I love that. It's so well said. Yeah.
And it saves so much time than trying to go through. I love the analogy a lot of teachers will say, like moving the chairs around on the Titanic as it's sinking or pushing through density. Like instead of just like rearranging the world to try to make it easier for us, if it's not guided with spirit, it just feels so much effort. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Yes. It feels like you're just going through cold tar. Just, it's very sludgy. Yeah. Spirit is light and effortless, and the ego is very convoluted, very dense, whatever. And oftentimes we don't even know we've chosen the ego, we're in it, and we're like, oh, why does it feel so, ugh? And then you go, okay, it's because somewhere, I don't know where that was in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, I was thinking with the wrong teacher. And when we shift into thinking with the right teacher, then all is well and we're on track, you know. Interesting, isn't it? I just love the holy encounter and how we're kind of unpacking this. But you truly are the Christ, and I am the Christ. And I think,
Mhm.
too, I'll just ask you this. One thing I've been working on lately, and I will calibrate this with you while we're having this organic talk, is I'm trying to be very mindful of when I walk by, have a walk outside, or go, I'm in a restaurant or in line at the store, is really reminding people in front of me in my thoughts. I don't have to say it
Yes.
here, but in my thoughts, really, because we're having these level one relationships. We're just sort of passing by people and also sending that message out through the thought that they are also innocent spirit, they're pure, they're whole. And then I know I'm in the zone. Do you do that too?
It is. I'm so glad you brought that up. It is one of my favorite things. When I first discovered how cool that was to be able to go into a grocery store, it could be at a gym, it could be walking in a park, it could be like a random person you're driving by. It doesn't matter. Like being able to just remind them like you are the Christ or you are whole and innocent or your perfect love, your source energy, whatever you feel comfortable saying. Absolutely. I mean, I think it literally shifts the neurons in your brain. It literally changes it so that you feel more in line with who you are. And instead of looking for what's wrong and moving around in the density, you're priming yourself for a holy encounter and you're priming yourself to make your job a little bit easier and your life a little bit easier. I truly feel I do. I love doing that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that's a great note to end on right there as far as our talk today
Mhm.
about the holy encounter, because that's what we're trying to do, is to every moment of every day we're having a holy encounter, whether it be with the
Yes.
cat or the dog or the plant or the tree or whatever. And we're just trying to be very mindful of that we're all one together in the source godlight energy. I think that's lovely. Okay, so before we close out today, I want to, I'm so excited about teaching a class with you and facilitating a group with you and
Yes.
organically and lovingly and help and as helpful as we can be. We're starting that next week on March the 6th at 11 a.m. And do you want to just talk a little bit about your background with the course and anything else you might want to
Yeah.
bring? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm thrilled to be able to co-teach it. And we're going to start it, I think, on a monthly basis at first and see how it goes and make it fun and organic and hopefully helpful.
Yeah.
So I am a therapist. I am working on getting my hours towards licensure. I came to the course in 2015. There's a really good video that Ruth and I did, I guess a few weeks or months back now, about my journey with spirituality that I highly recommend you go check out for more details. But 2014, 2015 timeframe, like a lot of people, was following a pretty painful breakup. And they say when the student is ready, the teacher comes, right? And so I really felt like that when I encountered Ruth again, who, funny enough, had literally been my teacher in middle school, in the sixth grade, in the eighth grade for IB English at the school we were at, which is just so funny to me how
Yeah.
that all like panned out. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been an interesting journey. I love talking about anything self-help or self-awareness or growing. because it's like my profession. I do it all the time. And reach out anytime you have a question about anything related to, like, especially I love talking about how to make the spirituality, which can feel sometimes abstract or cerebral, like really practical in your day-to-day life. And I try to keep it practical with clients, even if we don't talk spirituality at all, but I'm always sending them love.
Yes. Well, I love that. Yes, we have quite the history together. And Nathaniel is a doctor of psychology. He's gotten his degree from William and Mary, and he's just an amazing teacher. And also, he's got his own personal clients as well. So I want to learn more from you as we navigate this class together. Our first time. This is our maiden voyage, teaching something together next week. So we'll put the link to that in the description box for everyone. And also, if it's okay, we'll put your email. I think that's okay to put
Yes,
your
that
email in
sounds
there.
great.
Okay, we'll put in anybody wants to connect with Nathaniel, you can reach out to him via that way. All right, well, the Holy Encounter and a new class starting on March the 6th. Is there anything else you want to add to that today?
You know, the lessons that we've been reviewing, I think we're in a review period right now. And yesterday, one of the review periods, was either yesterday or the day before, was the lesson, My Holiness Envelops Everything I See. And I love the word envelop because it's a very loving, safe container, is what I get the impression of. And when you bless things like we're talking about, when you have a holy encounter, if you ever just don't know, like, well, what the heck do I do? Just remember, my holiness envelops everything I see. And if you have that little willingness, it goes a long way. And just think of like energy coming out from you, or like love, and it's holding the space for you and that other person. Just a thought.
Oh, I love that. So please, right now, as I find the stop button, if you could just envelop me and everyone out there
Mm-hmm.
who's watching this with the love coming from your heart, and just bless all of us because you are the Christ and they are the Christ watching this, and I am together, and we are all the sonship, and we are waking up together from this, what I call again and again, this terrible, awful dream of separation into the happy dream of unity and innocence and love. And I can't do it without you, and I can't do it
Yes.
without the viewer. So please like, subscribe, comment as you guys feel guided. We are just, this is a very organic network, and we're trying to spread the message of light and love and ultimately true forgiveness to bring us back to source. All right, Nathaniel, I'm going to
Yes.
find that stop button. I'll give you the very last word.
Yes. Bring your full self ready for healing. Don't worry about having to come and be perfect. Just be open to the process, and you're among a good group of people. We've got some great experts from different, I think, different healing modalities.
Absolutely. Well, God bless you, and we'll see you guys next week. Yay. Bye.
See ya.